The year is 1976. David Bowie's locked in a mansion, shades drawn, candles burning, watching shadows crawl across the wall. He's convinced witches are coming, not for his soul, but for his seed. The fridge? It's not for snacks, it's for survival. And in this battle of rock gods and ritual magic, only one version of the truth survived the blowout. Let's rewind the reel and pull back the veil. So here's what we're looking at. This is a tweet I found on the X. And it seems interesting and weird enough that I thought we gotta look into this. The tweet reads, did you know in 1976, during cocaine-fueled episodes in Los Angeles, David Bowie stored bodily fluids in his fridge to prevent use in spells? Convinced witches sought his you-know-what seed for the Antichrist conception? Bowie believed Jimmy Page's coven targeted him for rituals. That's interesting. So I thought, we gotta look into this. Let's see, first off, if David Bowie was being targeted by some type of Eyes Wide Shut group in the 70s. Of course, all alleged for entertainment purposes only, not fact. Psychic downloads, snarky opinions. You're a big fan of David Bowie. I don't know how it's going to go, but you might not be after this. Let's just find out, was Bowie being targeted by an occult group in the 70s? My. Well, we're going to start off with a big fat yes. He was. Okay. He was like a big get. Like, yeah. Like Eyes Wide Shut wanted David Bowie. That's interesting. Oh, dude. And he was afraid that they were going to get his seed. Wow. And they had some head lady to be the incubator ready. Why David Bowie? I don't know enough about David Bowie. I don't really know much about David Bowie at all. We only have one joke in our family related to David Bowie. Shoot, I hope that's David Bowie. Let's Dance, that song. We're always joking about who plays a guitar solo in that. Anyhow, yes. David Bowie was targeted for his seed. They were looking to the future to create someone who was going to be some kind of ruler, shall we say. Okay. Now this begs a question. We've done enough readings that I'm going to assume David Bowie was in Eyes Wide Shut. Let's just see what his role is in there. I mean, there's the off chance he could be one of these, like, 2 in a million that wasn't, but let's just see. David Bowie, his role in the Eyes Wide Shut. Okay, I'm saying yes, he was. It was. There's this idea that I don't want to join. I don't want to join. I'm putting them off quite frequently. Like, meh, I'm good. I'll just take a pamphlet and I'll look into it. Get back to you later. At some point, he surrendered to them. He had heard a lot of things about them. I don't think this was a new idea to him. Like, he didn't one day become a musician and then found out about them. This seems like this is something he had heard about even before his career. So I don't know if he had some type of familial history ties, things like that. But eventually he succumbs to it. He's like, I have no choice. I have no choice. I think he's a part of a family. You know how some of these families, that's just their religion. I'm thinking here, he was a part of a family. Yeah, okay. Interesting. At some point, some part of his family, they messed up, and they were on the outs with the eyes wide shut. Allegedly, my opinion. And they were looking at David Bowie as the savior, somehow. Not Jesus, but, their savior, to get him back, to get them all back into the eyes wide shut good graces. He did not want to do this. But, okay, so he didn't want to do this, but it's almost like he has no choice. He has to do this stuff. And it seems like as he's growing up and becoming a musician and all of the things, that he's fighting it back against this. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. No, I'm not the one. No choice. This feels very much like people who are born to become kings and queens, and some of them don't want to do the job. This would be David Bowie. I'm not interested in doing this job. No thank you at all. Okay. Let's see if Jimmy Page or his associates were the ones who were interested in Bowie's seed. Yes. They wanted that seed. This is that lady that they were waiting to put it into. Okay, so I'm seeing like David Bowie as a young man. And like, you know how there's always like, you go back in history and all the young, like especially the young musician, the boys, they would always have the female groupies. They're always, I want to go get them, and the boys are running away. Similar thing with David Bowie, but it's more like he's running away from these goblins who are after his seed. It's a rather odd picture. Let's get out our tokens. All right, let's see if we can find out why Jimmy Page and his associate. Oh. So why are Jimmy Page or his associates, Jimmy Page's group, we'll call them, why are they after David Bowie's stuff? We got the money token here. So there's some idea that there's this like knowledge within the Eyes Wide Shut crew, and there's a high bounty on getting the stuff from Bowie. He comes from good stock. There's the acorn. Oh, good Lord. So I haven't gotten that we're getting to an Antichrist, but there's something about David Bowie that they have to have it. They want it. They want it. They're unrelenting in trying to get him to agree so they don't have to steal his stuff. They're planting a lot of ladies for him to have relations with. Oh, gosh. Someone might have gotten their hand on his seed before, but they weren't prepared to finish out the thing. Bird in hand. Dude, this is weird. They so wanted his stuff. This flight flew out. English, do I speak it? Not with, I need more coffee. This is like pipe, fixing a pipe with a wrench. It's kind of hard to see, but it's fixing a pipe with a wrench. Okay. Strong swimmers with the seahorse. This is when he catches on like, this ain't normal groupian. Is that a word? Probably not. Okay. There's definitely magical intent. So David Jimmy Page and his crew seem to have the info, and they're like, we got to get it, we got to get it, you know, because it's like mystical, like if they were telling stories to each other over a campfire. This is mystical stuff. Like, I don't know, like David Bowie is like some, like, I don't know, King Arthur, I don't know, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. I was educated in California. I was thinking, you know, like King Arthur's sword, is that who it was? You know the thing in Disneyland? King Arthur, the round, I don't know. Who cares? But I'm saying that David Bowie is considered like this magical person, entity for them. That's why they are obsessed. Let's see if they were doing any type of magic spell work to David Bowie to perhaps change his perception, or to get him to do certain things, take certain actions, to bring him around to a love nest or two. Was David Bowie being affected by spell work? Oh, yes, he was. Most definitely. And it seemed to have been working. Oh, it seemed to have been working. I don't know. I don't do any of this shit. But there's like, essentially, like they're doing this spell work that makes it so he's always wanting to get randy with someone. And he's fighting it because this doesn't seem like his inherent nature, that he is not a slave to this desire. And I think he puts two and two together somehow, and he figures out what's going on over here. And he's like, this ain't my normal way of thinking, or my normal desires, wants, needs. Something ain't right. Somehow he puts two and two together, and he starts to fight back against it. This is when he's like got a heads up, like, wait a minute. Okay. Let's see about the Antichrist conception, if that's what they were looking to bring out, create, whatever. Why would they think David Bowie would be that person? I mean, apparently, we got earlier, it's in the familial line, something. But let's see what else we can get. This is not based in... I was going to say, this is not based in fact. Okay, I don't know that they have this shit written down. I don't know that. But this is like, you know, how lore has been passed down over years and years and years. The stories, right? The things aren't written down, kind of like how back in the old days, how they would tell people, like one generation to the next would recount the Bible, right? And then it got written down. I think that's how that went. Who knows? Anyhow, same idea. This was lore that was just passed down generation to generation to generation. And for some reason, Bowie's line is the one. It is the one. That they gotta get. Coming down the mom's line. I don't know who Bowie's mom is. Yeah, see, there's something here. They need his seed to get the kid. But I'm not getting the El Diablo angle at all. Which is interesting, right? Why is there no El Diablo angle in here? There's some lore that they wanted the seed to create some line. There's something with this line. Okay, I'm not getting El Diablo, so let's get into what is this magical line then. Because maybe the story is not about the Antichrist, but something else. What's in David Bowie's familial line through the mom that they were hot to get his stuff for? whatever it was here, I'm thinking it's weird. Like, I don't know that this is a thing. But what's coming through is like this is a physical thing of like an abundance spell. Almost like if we got some of this, but this is almost like there's never enough of David Bowie's seed. Ugh, good Lord. There's never enough of it because it's almost like this is a magical elixir that they would all get fame and power, and it's a multiplier in some form, fashion. I don't know how that works, but yes. Yeah, it's a multiplier of fame and fortune and success and all of this stuff. Oh, I got the chills. Ugh. Can you imagine having this conversation and someone's like, you're a loon, you need to go somewhere? Yes, because this is like fame, fortune, all of these things, you're going to get them if you can get this stuff. And then you picture like Jimmy Page's like, I just got to put it all over my body. Like, what? What? It's an alluring thing, too. I wonder if it's just meant like, I don't know what this is. I get, in a way, you could kind of say it's like Antichrist, right? Where it's that whole idea that I think I've seen somewhere, heard something, you know, the Antichrist is like, fools you, right? They're so handsome. The devil's so handsome. And oh, everyone's just enamored with him. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love him so much, right? That kind of shit. Same idea. Whatever David Bowie had was like an intoxicant that the men wanted to, and the women wanted to, let me have your babies. It was the it factor. I assume David Bowie had the it factor. He didn't have the it factor for me, but I know for some people he did. Okay, so there's also this idea. It's a delay breaker. If you're stalling in your career, say if you're the dudes, you're stalling in your career, first you're going to be attractive to everyone, right? And I guess Jimmy Page needed that. And then there's also this idea that, like, say if you're not moving up as fast in your career, you're going to slather this on, and then everybody's going to just like, that like jumps you to the head of the line. Like overnight, it's like, oh my gosh, nobody is really into Weird Al Yankovic, but then he put all this shit on him, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I must go get his special album. Imagine if Weird Al had that stuff. Oh, Lord. Anyhow, and then there is the idea that within, should they be able to get a child from that bloodline of David Bowie's family, then there is like this, he becomes that baby, that child becomes like a Christ-like figure through which, in some form, fashion, these demons think that they have like some type of future hope, much like your sins are forgiven in Jesus. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there in the El Diablo worship group, but something similar to that. Let's see. David Bowie, did he ever have kids? Hold on. I gotta look in this. Like I said, I don't know. So he had 2 children. He had this one named Duncan Jones, a British film director, film producer, and screenwriter. He directed movies I've never seen. And Lexi Jones, a British-American artist and singer-songwriter. Who's his mom? Where's the mom? Spouse? Angie Bowie. Angie Bowie. Who's this lady? I have no idea. So, she has the 2 children, including Duncan Jones. Wait a minute. Let's see. Personal relationships. Estrangement from Duncan Jones. Oh, what in the world? Oh, Angie Bowie's long claim to have inspired the Rolling Stones hit song Angie? These people are like, ugh, gross. We got their son Duncan. So they only had 1 kid. Then he had another kid with somebody else. Who did he have this other kid with? Do we know? Do we know? Or is... Oh, Lexi. Oh, half-sister. Was born to Amon. Oh, okay. So he had 1. Okay. Okay. I had no idea. All right. So let's see then. Duncan and Lexi. We'll do Duncan and Lexi at the top. Might as well. I assume they both carried some magical bloodline then down from David Bowie. Let's see what's shaken with that. No one's after Duncan that I know. I've never even heard of these people. I assume if he had the intoxicating seed, they'd all be over him. But let's see. Duncan and Lexi. Duncan's got it through the bloodline, through Angie. Whoever Angie is. Angie must be some type of witchy lady. So there's something here. Wait a minute. Why would he have it through Angie, not David Bowie? And this Lexi one, I'm not even sure that she's Bowie's kid. Allegedly, my opinion. I'm just saying. That's Cupid that fell out. I'm not even sure that this Duncan kid is a kid of his. Just saying. Okay, down here, this is Lexi. I don't think these people are those babies. Like, they don't belong. I'm convinced this Lexi is not David Bowie's seed. Allegedly, in my opinion, I do not think that the girl for sure. No, and I don't know that this boy is either. I don't think they're seeds. I don't think they're actual offspring. Like, can I get them to take a DNA test? No. Is this my crazy ass alleged opinion? Yes. But I don't think they're the actual, like, offspring here. I think these are, I don't know. Did they, I don't want to waste any more time digging into this, but I don't, I don't think so. So, maybe he never had them. Like, he kept his seed to himself. I don't... How could he know that these women that he married weren't going to take his seed and run? Okay, let me go back. I gotta go back to his other page so I can see who his... Angie. He was married to Angie and he was married to Amon. And then he died when he was married to Amon. Amon. I-man. Yeah. All right, let's go Angie Barnett. Was she into David Bowie for his seed? Like, was she placed there to get his seed? And it didn't work out, allegedly, in my opinion. Angie Barnett. She was on a mission, that's for damn sure. She was on a mission. Oh, yes, she was. She was on a mission. She was going to get that stuff. And then she's going to, like, distribute it like some type of drug dealer. Look at that! She was. So this was not just a marriage of love. Maybe that's what she told him. Maybe that's what he felt. I think he got duped by this Angie one. No. All right. Let's see about Iman. What about that one? Is she, like, in the relationship because of love? I know. There's going to be, I'll tell you right now, I almost can guarantee it, there's going to be some ding-dong, big-ass David Bowie fan in the comments. How dare you? Oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Like, get the F out of here. You don't know David Bowie, so shut the fuck up. Anyhow, David Bowie and Iman. Get in there. She coming in there to get a seed. She ended up, I guess, you know, they're married till he passes, so she gets the estate and all that. This would read more like a handler, in my opinion. I think that one's a handler. This is not necessarily after his seed. This is to keep an eye on him. What was he up to then in his life and times? Man, why? Wow. Okay. Well, this has gone weird. This is just going in weird directions. Like, I don't think much about David Bowie in my day-to-day life, but now this is starting to go weird because I'm really interested now in the last wife. Yeah. I'm just, there's all sorts of weird things here. I can't help myself. Was he protecting his seed with his so-called wives? Or spouses? Was David Bowie still protecting his seed with his spouses? Like, what can I know about him doing that? Because I don't think it ended. Yeah. Yeah. It was almost like he didn't trust any of these women. Look, he didn't trust any of them. And yeah, there's something about, like, it going into another receptacle. That's how we'll end this. His seed was always going into another receptacle. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, that was intriguing and weird for my first reading of the day. Anyhow, until next time, maybe you want to join me in the Moon Math Matter. Come on over, and I will see you next time. Adios.